Roberto, Cassoli, and Erik Haniak are co-founders of Check Please, a free platform that allows contactless payments for restaurants. They're also really nice guys. We met at a volunteer night at Dans la Rue, a nonprofit organization in Montreal that gives free food to youth living on the street. So we spent a couple hours in the basement of Dans la Rue surrounded by mounds of donated clothing with some more volunteers from restaurant Le Bird Bar making veggie pate and peanut butter and jam sandwiches as part of the evening organized by the local rep from Mealshare, another nonprofit that Check Please has been partnered with since its beginning. Mealshare donates $1 to kids' lunches for every menu item bought at partnered restaurants. But let's get back to Check Please. I heard of it first last year as a way for tables to split the bill at the end of a meal. Whether you're in a bill splitting situation or not, it's actually more of a way to skip having to wait for the check at the end of a meal. That's what Roberto and Erik told me. But now, since COVID-19, Check Please has done a huge pivot. And with so many restaurants transitioning to takeout or delivery, it's developed an online ordering platform that manages takeout orders for them. And they've seen about a 75% increase in restaurants signing on. The way it works is restaurants send their menus to Check Please. The Check Please team uploads them and organizes it all for them. On top of that, the platform is free. And restaurants just pay the credit card processing fees, making it an incredibly good deal for places that want to handle takeout and delivery themselves without paying a third-party delivery app that'll take a big cut of the profits. So Roberto and Erik will be here with me very shortly. I know they're going to have something delicious to drink, and I'm kind of curious how they're making money at this and what their future plans are for this, because obviously it's expanding. And I'm hoping that after a drink, they will tell me these things, my answers to my very invasive questions, and hopefully more restaurants will partner with them in the future, and it'll be a mutually beneficial thing. So here are Roberto and Erik. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having us. Really
Thanks for coming on. What are you drinking today?
Bourbon lemonade. Cheers.
Oh, okay. So we matched. Cheers. Oh, finally a clink sound. I'm so happy that you can provide that. It's wonderful.
We'll say this is a very needed drink today. It's been a good day, so.
It was a big day. I guess every day is a big day for you guys.
These days, yeah. So a nice bourbon lemonade at 5 o'clock tends to help.
Okay. So I know that you have a lot of restaurants using your platform right now. How many are on in total?
I think we're at 90 now, I want to say. Yeah, close to 90.
Okay. And so
every day we're getting new restaurants joining.
Well, they realize what a good deal it is. It makes sense, but you must be just completely swamped. How many people are on your team?
Yeah, so right now we're actually about 8 and some part-time. So in all, we're actually pretty efficient. Luckily, I think we've dealt with the work-at-home situation pretty well. So luckily, we're in a good spot coming into this to be able to spread the work out evenly and still be efficient. Absolutely a lot of work.
Well, how long did it take you to make this basically new app, right? Like this is not what you were doing before with Check Please.
No, I mean, it's a whole new ball game.
Luckily, our third partner, Olivier, he's a genius, and he managed to put it together in just a couple of days.
Wow.
And obviously, as we keep going every day, we're making improvements to the platform based on the feedback that we're getting from restaurants and customers.
Okay.
So it's an ongoing effort right now.
And you upload all the menus for the restaurants. So you're uploading new menus every day and onboarding new restaurants every day. How are you sleeping right now?
Sleep is a privilege that we
don't. Okay. Up there with bourbon lemonade, I guess.
Exactly. But to be frank, we found ways to do this very efficiently so it doesn't take us long. And the truth be told, we always wanted to provide this service because we noticed that it's such a big change going from in-restaurant dining to delivery and pickup.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need just someone to talk to, somebody to help them, set up online ordering. So we hope that we can be that resource.
Yeah. Do you think that all these restaurants are going to stick with you when the situation is over?
I hope so. I hope we've been providing a positive enough experience that that they've enjoyed it, and they'll continue if they deem that online ordering is going to be an essential part of their revenue stream, which I believe it will be for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And on our end, it's weekly that we're adding features to the platform and always improving it. So it makes sense to get on now, as we're growing, and to be a part of that growth, to provide us with the feedback. Talking to when we're on the phone with us, or talking to us through the hotline, you're talking to the people who develop the product. So there's a lot of changes that we can make, and we can always adapt it for you. That's the beauty of it.
Wait, so you're answering the hotline yourself? Like people will call you up and they get the founders of the company?
Yeah,
it's not all the time.
Not all the time. Yeah.
This is not a 24-hour hotline.
Everyone has access to. But yeah.
Okay.
Whoever's available picks it up. So there's always someone. But we definitely like to be a part of that, because it's good to have that connection to understand where, if you're going to get a phone call in, it's likely something serious. So we want to know what's going on. We want to know how we can make it better. It's good to talk to us, because we're the right people to talk to.
Well, I know this is very prying, but what I want to know is how you guys are making money at this. Like, you're not sleeping. You're obviously doing this out of the goodness of your heart because you want to help restaurants, but what's your business model here?
I mean, we're still super focused on our main product before all of COVID-19 hit. So we're really just using this as a way to create value for the industry, make sure we're supporting restaurants through this difficult time, because we know, a lot of restaurants are struggling to stay open. So we want to do our part to make sure we can help everyone out. And the goal is to really get customers back through the doors as soon as possible using our contactless payments once everything kind of starts opening up.
Yeah. And then you need users, you need people who go to eat at the restaurant to also have the app so that they can pay, not just the restaurants. This is different, that just the restaurants have the app, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So, I mean, essentially we've developed this contactless payment application before, and we're always adding to it. So that will include a web application that doesn't require a download. So there's a whole real platform that we're building that we hope to even have this online ordering folded in. So we really become, a go-to tech solution for the restaurant space. And we definitely want this to be, a Montreal-based product. We're really proud of our city, and we're proud to be, Montrealers and helping the industry. So, and it's constantly in development.
What are you hearing from some of the restaurants you're talking to? What is the industry like right now? What are people saying?
I mean, when we first started off, a lot of the restaurants that we were speaking to were the experience-based restaurants. So they weren't necessarily set up with takeout or delivery beforehand. So making that transition from like a dine-in model to a takeout or delivery model, there was a lot of nuances that are just not clear. A lot of changes that have to happen from your menu, from having packaging, new pricing to account for the fees that Uber takes and Skip the Dishes take. So that transition was really, really difficult for restaurateurs. So that's why we came in with this online ordering to just try and make it as easy as possible for that restaurant to make that switch.
Right now, what we've noticed is, the way people are talking, it's a lot more positive than when we first.
Finally, right?
Yeah. And I'll say it was a challenge to speak to our initial partners about what they thought the future was, and it seemed, very negative. It was quite bleak, and it was for all of us. But I think, the way we see it is we really together we're able to overcome it, and at least start to back to a place of normalcy and something that we're all a little bit more familiar with. So I think together we were able to come through this, and we hope to have more restaurants join us, in this journey back to this new reality, but something that will still be,
considered normal
and profitable for the industry.
And most of your restaurants are in Montreal, but you're also now partnered with restaurants outside of the city. Is that true?
So
we're looking to expand. We have one case. Yeah, we have one caterer out in Gatineau, and we've had a few leads come in from BC and a few other spots. So we're trying to figure out if it's manageable for us to go outside of the province or not yet. But right now,
why wouldn't it be manageable? What are the hiccups there?
It's simply the scalability of providing the intimate service that we provide now.
Yeah.
Obviously, the most ideal thing with it, if we can simply create some type of capability for restaurants to make adjustments, that would obviously help and make things a little bit simpler. So that's what we're developing, and I think once that's complete, then puts us in a better position to go out there. But we have touched on something interesting of having us being the online ordering webmaster for restaurants that focus on getting your menu right and figuring out everything you have to do to make this delivery and takeout model succeed. And while you're doing that, don't worry about the online platform. We have it covered. So that's kind of what we want to do. It's what we're good at.
Yeah.
So we want to be able to provide that same service if we were to move out of province. That just takes us some time to figure it all out.
Do you think that fine dining restaurants are going to stick with takeout and delivery when this is over? Like, what are you hearing from people?
It's tough to say. I think for the foreseeable future, people are just not going to have a choice. We'll have to see how the laws affect, like whether they're going to open up at 50% capacity or full capacity. So we'll have to see. And then also from a consumer's point of view, are people going to be willing to flock back into restaurants, or is there going to be kind of this wave of gradually people willing to go back and sit in bars and restaurants?
Yeah.
So,
until there's a vaccine, it's everything is still up in the air, and we can hopefully rely on herd immunity or something like that. But I really think until a vaccine is in place and we're all a little bit more comfortable going out in public, and I think that's really the key.
Yeah.
So until then, delivery and takeout are an important part of a restaurant's arsenal, and you can't hesitate to use every tool at hand. I think that's the most important message that we've seen in the industry.
What are some of the restaurants that you're now partnered with? So you can name a few, and I can plug them, but also so people get an understanding of what kind of restaurants you are working with at the moment.
And we're working with all kinds of restaurants.
With a lot. The only reason name dropping is tough is because we respect them all equally. And
what were some of your first ones then? Let's go with that, so that it's not a quality, it's just
so first one was definitely Grumman 78. We've been working with them for the last, I think, 2 years and a half. They were the ones that really helped us build our initial product. So it took us 6 months where we were going to Grumman, working with the staff there, the owners there, to really build out our initial product. And then obviously when COVID hit, they were the first ones that we went to go see and say, hey, how can we help you guys out? We piloted our online ordering with them, and once we were comfortable with the system, then we kind of went and tried to help out as many other restaurants as we could.
Okay. Is there a restaurant that you're dying to go to when this is over? Or maybe you're ordering takeout to the office all the time because you're obviously, quarantining together.
We're definitely trying to take advantage of takeout as much as we can. Yeah. But I think we have 90 restaurants on our list that we want to hit up once things open up. Yeah. We'd love to meet some of the owners that we haven't had a chance to meet in person. So I think we already have our beautiful list of restaurants. We're ready to try and then have a nice time.
Are you ready then for a lightning round, so I can ask you more about the questions? You just say whatever comes to mind, and then you won't have to think about it.
Exciting.
Okay, you ready?
Do we answer at the same time, or?
Ooh.
We'll see.
You'll have to fight for it, I guess.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so I know you guys are obviously you're working together at your office. Do you also live together? Just so I know a little bit of the background here. Okay. And who's doing most of the cooking at home?
My girlfriend. She's joining us in this quarantine journey, so we're super lucky.
So I shouldn't ask anything embarrassing about what you've eaten lately. Maybe let's start with what's the best meal you've had at home since it started?
Oh man, that's a toughie. A lot of great meals. Again, really lucky.
The chimichurri sauce on the beef was really good.
Yeah, chimichurri beef, like Argentinian steak, homemade chimichurri sauce. Yeah. That was a new for all of us. So hats off to the chef.
Barbecue or grilled or what?
On a cast iron pan.
Nice. Yeah. I like this girl.
Yeah.
Big fan already. Okay, sweet or salty?
Salty for me. Yeah.
Okay, that was an easy one. Comfort food. What's your ultimate comfort food?
Fried chicken.
Italian pasta. So usually like a nice lasagna in the oven. That's a solid. Okay,
so I'm thinking Le Bird Bar for you then is maybe one of your favorites.
Haven't tried it.
Actually. No, really, the fried chicken empire over there.
What was the spot off that
They're now doing takeout and delivery, by the way. They just started again, the Bird Bar.
Okay, good to know.
Sorry, what little place? This is a fun
Ice House, yeah.
Ice House, yeah. I was thinking of your bourbon lemonade. That's the place for bourbon lemonade.
Too, yeah. And I also say Nouveau Palais. They're both their locations. Incredible fried chicken. So.
Oh, there you go.
That's a go-to for sure.
Have you been into Korean fried chicken? This is the worst lightning round ever. I'm sorry, guys. We're just getting so sidetracked. Not your fault.
We had Korean last night, from Kiwa.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Muslim village, excellent.
Okay. What's your desert island COVID meal? Like your dream ultimate meal when you get out of this?
Italian pasta.
From where? And what kind of pasta?
So I mean,
Gluten-free.
ideally,
Yes, gluten-free.
gluten-free. So I'm gluten-free from now on, unless it's my nonna's pasta. I don't have the heart to tell her that I'm gluten-free. Don't tell her anything.
So it's by choice?
Yeah, well, it's by choice right now. It's somewhat medical as well, so I'm taking a hiatus for a few months, see how it goes, just clear the system, and then we'll see if we can introduce it. But a lot of good options out there. So
for me, it would definitely have to be seafood. So either a tuna steak or some lobster.
Ooh, it's lobster season right now.
Yeah, it is lobster season.
Some lobster. You gotta ask his girlfriend if he can cook you some lobster, I think.
I'll give her a shout after this.
Yeah. And how do you like the lobster? Is it like simple with butter, or is it like a sandwich? Yeah. Okay. You're from Montreal originally?
Yeah.
You're not an East Coaster, so it's
both of us. No, both of us from Montreal. In the West Island.
Okay. Got it.
Cool.
What is what's your favorite ingredient?
Ingredient? Hot sauce, probably.
Is there a kind? Garlic. Oh, Italian, of course. It's the base of everything. And what's your hot sauce?
What's the go-to? I mean, Frank's Red is pretty. That's basic. What's the one that they have at Grumman that we buy at the grocery store? I don't know what it's called.
I don't know what it's called.
Yeah,
it's good.
What's something you've been eating way too much of lately?
Sweets.
Yeah.
Baked goods and sweets.
Yeah, just late night snacks. You know, and we're done all this, and you get that second wave of hunger after dinner. And it's honestly whatever there is in the fridge that's already made.
Is that homemade sweets, or is that often like?
Usually homemade.
Yeah.
All right, then you're a lucky gentleman.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been having? Is it banana bread? Is it cookies? Is it
banana bread, brownies,
cookies,
scones.
Yeah. Sky's the limit with her. She's been very creative.
Brilliant. Sounds great. What's your last cooking fail? Not her last cooking fail, because obviously she doesn't do anything wrong. She is perfect.
We have one big one, so we're not TV personalities at all, but we tried our hand at it. So we thought, cooking with Rob and Erik, do a Czech cooking show.
Would be some good content for Instagram. Yeah.
Be fun. We thought, we've seen a lot of videos. It seems pretty simple. So we tried our hand at it. We wanted to make French toast. One of the simplest things that we can think. Breakfast. How hard can it be? Turns out filming it at different angles with the right lighting, really difficult. And apparently making French toast.
Plating French toast apparently wasn't as easy.
No. So we had it all set up. It looked great. And then we decided, let's make a chocolate sauce, because chocolate sauce on top, you get that nice drizzle. It's perfect.
We should try and find a picture of it so she can transition.
Yeah, it could be good.
Yeah.
I'd like to lay that over actually the visual here. If you can, just send it to me later. It'll be great.
We'll send you the beautiful photos that we have. Absolutely. Be our pleasure to do so. But you should have seen the chocolate sauce when we decided to pour it on top of the French toast. Instead of the beautiful stream of Willy Wonka chocolate, it was clumps of mud.
Oh dear.
One bit at a time onto our nice plated French toast. It did not turn out well at all. And
plating is an art.
French toast since then.
You probably shouldn't. You're now scarred. It's true. Stick to fried chicken and banana bread and brownies and
easier like that.
Yeah, I think so. What's the restaurant that you'd love to have using Check Please?
Noma.
Oh well, yes. That would be cool for the bill splitting, or for the contactless payment, or for takeout and delivery. Just anything.
That would be cool. But I do want to say again, all the restaurants are fantastic, and I think the diversity that we have in Montreal restaurant scene is what makes it so awesome. It's like there's everything under the sun, and they're all fantastic, and there's a lot of passion behind it. So we really want to work with as many as we can.
Although it would be really cool to be part of delivering moss for takeout. Or that would be fun.
At most.
Can you imagine a tasting menu from Noma, like Rennie Redzepi, like carefully plating every little thing and then putting it in a takeout dish and being like, don't walk faster than like a very quick pace. Like you can't run. There is no biking with this.
If you ask me, like high dining delivery for, you know, the highest class restaurants where the plating and the delicacy is an important part. So you have to have a very good car where it doesn't shake too much. And
you're kind of screwed in Montreal.
Oh yeah, with the potholes you're done. So anyway.
Oh yeah. No, and I mean, even with construction restarted right now, no, I feel bad for the people who are delivering. Well, so you've heard that some people are delivering ice cream, but I think they're just delivering pints. I don't think they're actually doing cones because
I hope
because how would you? That seems. Well, even if you have like a very refrigerated compartment, it's getting hot right now too. It's like, is that ice cream really ever going to make it to its end destination? I think there's just going to be a lot of accidents and a lot of refunds.
Absolutely. I wouldn't recommend it. You know, if you're going to get ice cream, I think make the trek to the source or buy the pints, but a cone on demand for delivery seems like a disaster waiting to happen.
A lot of places are open now, actually. I pitched a story about COVID-19 and ice cream shops, and a lot of the local places are open. They have to have a takeout window, or if they're doing, you know, time for pickup. So that's fun, at least.
Ripples down the street, I think they just opened recently. So great local spot in Kalem too. I believe they're open. So it's great. Happy to see a dippery. It's good. It's summertime. It's a nice time to get some ice cream.
Finally warm out.
Feels great.
Yeah. Okay. Poutine or pho?
Depends on the mood. Pho, just because I'd be down for pho more often than poutine.
I'm gonna go with poutine. It's a special place in my heart. You know, sometimes the filet sauce with great cheese curds. It's a beautiful Quebec dish that you can't say no to that.
Not so gluten-free friendly all the time, but sometimes it's made with cornstarch, so you might be okay.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things you indulge. It's been a while, but I have to say something about the simplicity and the way it all comes together, it's magical.
What's your poutine place?
So I mean, interesting.
I have to ask, right? Come on.
Sure, but there's a little place on the way up to our chalet up north. And it's called Joe's Patat. A low-key spot right after, you know, through Hawkesbury. They make a fantastic poutine. So that would be the go-to in Montreal. You know, the classic places, I have to say, do a great job. Even you know, like La Belle Pro,
La
Banquise, of course. Yeah. Even Poulet Mouillé. No, it's been a while. There's so many. There's actually a lot. There's actually even Nouveau Palais. They make, just not because they keep coming up, but they also make a good poutine.
Yeah. And pho, where do you go for pho?
There's a place down on Rachel.
Yeah, Pho Rachel.
Yeah.
Close by,
A good one. Fourien, next to Concordia. Great spot on St. Mathieu.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that location is nice. That was my spot for. Oh yeah, they have a Fourien there. A second one, right? That's their second location. The original one was up by the Jewish.
I believe so. So it's the one you go down, or no, maybe it's Faux Nugent.
Nugent, yeah, on Saint Mathieu.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that was my place for a long time. Like that late night, go down into the basement. It's really quiet. No one's watching you, but it was always super fresh and tasty.
Fourien is the one next to the Jewish, also very good. So
that's the one with the ridiculously large.
You can get a huge one.
Yeah. So we've completed most of the lightning round, but I want to know, what do you miss most about food before and after COVID?
For me, it's the experience of going
being
out,
into it,
being able to go out with a group at a restaurant, being able to enjoy the experience. I think that for me is such a big part.
Yeah.
And makes the food taste better, makes the drinks taste better, makes everything a little bit better, because you get to experience it with the people you love, all in an amazing setting, when the service, when everything hits the right spots. It really, it's like a little getaway. So, and I think we're blessed in Montreal to have a lot of different opportunities to have different experiences. So that's what I miss most. It's really the experience part of it.
What about
I'm gonna have to much simpler answer, but with the nice weather, it's definitely terrace season.
Oh, terraces. Yeah. But I wouldn't give. But now you can be with at least friends on a terrace, theoretically, in the outside, social distancing, of course. But yeah, restaurants, that feeling of just kind of being out with the masses and being on a beautiful terrace. Do you have a favorite terrace in Montreal? Patio, for anybody who doesn't know what terrace is.
I don't know. Not specifically, no.
No, just anywhere. Just what's your ideal terrace experience? Like what time of day? What
Like early afternoon. Day drinking is always fun.
And what are you drinking?
Usually gin and tonic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have a go-to spot?
Yeah. Golden hour beer guy.
Golden hour beer guy.
I have no clue what you're saying.
Golden hour. It's around 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, okay.
Sun goes down. A nice pint. Golden hour beer.
What kind of pints are you drinking?
Blonde most of the time. Maybe a blanche.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what we're into.
Well, I hope that you have lots of opportunities to do that this summer. We'll see how it goes.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly. What's the future for Check Please? Like, what's the next step in your business?
Good question.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot happening right now for us. I think contactless payments are going to be an important part of the transition back to some type of normalcy. I think we hope to help with the transition. So definitely providing convenient form of payment that's without contact with payment terminals, and just decreasing the amount of contact between customers and restaurant and wait staff is an important part. We're seeing things like in California. If those laws are implemented here, then I think technology will be an important, another important tool in the restaurant's arsenal to help
get back in business.
Increase revenue.
Yeah. Well, the question for me is, our restaurants going to be fun? Like you kind of talked about that before, like the restaurant experience. So any way that you can help with that, I, as a restaurant lover, appreciate that. I also don't want to have to spend an absolute fortune every time I go to a restaurant thinking, oh, if they could have twice as many customers, then they could make twice as much money, so I better spend a lot of money. Like that's not a relaxing thing to think when you're going out for a meal. So it'll be an interesting transition, I think.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how it evolves, and it will be different. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be a whole new experience, hopefully for the better. Hopefully with these tools in place and with the right legislation, there could be a possibility for to still have a good time when you go to restaurants and not feel that sense of need to spend more to support. Although just being there, being present at the restaurant, especially in Montreal, supporting your local establishment, I think just that, you're gonna have people will appreciate it. And the restaurateurs that put all their love and passion into these projects, they're going to appreciate you being there. So, we do want people to come back to restaurants. We want everyone to be prudent about it because, we're not out of the woods yet, but, we'll take it a day at a time.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I want to cheers once more, just actually to your girlfriend, because it sounds like she's making this whole project possible for you, feeding you while you try to help so many local places.
She's gonna absolutely love that. So here, cheers
to that.
Cheers to that. Weren't they the nicest guys? They actually had to go and do more good by dropping off food at the CHUM, the University of Montreal Hospital Center. I'm going to have all the contacts for the restaurants that they mentioned and for Check Please, which is CHK PLZ, no vowels, up on the show notes for this episode, which you can find wherever you got this podcast, whether that's on my blog, multiculturosity.com, or on Spotify, on iTunes, on Stitcher, or on Vimeo. There is an audio-only version and there's a video version, so you can check it out however you'd like, and it'll be up each Thursday, presuming that I don't have problems with the iTunes upload, which I seem to have problems with lately. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll speak with another interesting person next week. It's not just chefs, it's not just sommeliers, it's not just people related to restaurants, but on the 5 à 7 podcast, it's always food-based. So have a great week and talk to you soon.